Get down now! Get down now! You got a knife in the back. Knife in the back.
Breaking news right now on the Palm Bay mother accused of taking the life of her 3 young kids.
When we think of mothers, we think of love, affection, and comfort. But what compels an all-loving mother to become a psychopathic murderer? Today, we're about to embark on a bone-chilling journey into the heart of Palm Bay, Florida. In this small, ordinary town, the McCarty family, a picture of contentment, are about to become entangled in a series of tragic events that will change the course of their lives forever. Come with us as we unpack the story of a mother, the life giver, who snaps and becomes the life taker. Stay tuned until the end as we dive into the tale of the mom who became a mass killer, the shocking tale of Jessica McCarty. Very few details are available about Jessica McCarty's early life. We know that she married twice, the first time being to Philip McCarty, with whom she had 2 children, Lacey and Philip McCarty. After their relationship ended, she entered into a relationship with Christopher "Chris" Swist, her partner at the time of the tragic incident. They too had a child together named Christopher Swist Jr. The nightmare began at exactly 5:53 p.m. on March 20th, 2015, when Chris received a chilling phone call from Jessica. She simply uttered, "The kids are dead," before abruptly ending the call and sending Chris pictures of their kitchen floor drenched in blood. In utter shock and disbelief, Christopher instantly called the police and rushed to get home. As the minutes ticked by, he couldn't shake the growing dread that something sinister was waiting within the walls of their home. Yet little did he know what awaited him there would be more horrifying than anything he could have ever imagined. But then, an unexpected twist occurred. In the midst of Chris's frantic call to the police, it was revealed, according to several sources, that Jessica herself also contacted the authorities, making a cryptic statement that would send shivers down anyone's spine. "It's late. It's already done. I've done it. I've slit everything, up and down my neck, everything, and my 3 kids are dead." When the police finally reached the household, they found Jessica hysterical, clutching a knife in her hand and begging the police to end her life immediately. The unfolding events were beyond anyone's comprehension, raising numerous questions. However, before initiating any investigation, the top priority was ensuring the safety of the children and assessing Jessica's mental state. Once inside the house, however, authorities were confronted with a scene straight out of a horror movie. Every corner of the McCarty household told a gruesome tale. The lounge, the kitchen, and even the bathrooms were smeared in blood. All the while, the heartwarming movie Marley and Me, starring Jennifer Aniston, played on the TV, casting an eerie contrast to the scene of chaos and despair. Sadly, the most gut-wrenching discovery was still to come. All 3 children, Jessica's daughter Lacey, aged 7, her eldest son Philip, aged 6, and her 5-month-old newborn baby Christopher were found unconscious in different parts of the house. Jessica had covered their bodies with a blanket. Upon Chris's arrival, he first discovered Philip in the lounge, unconscious and in a dire condition. Meanwhile, Lacey and Christopher were in the master bedroom. Reports suggest that Lacey was soaking wet and there was a wire cord around baby Christopher's neck. Astonishingly, despite being unconscious and severely injured, all 3 children were still alive, prompting an urgent rush to the hospital. Tragically, the children's hold on life grew weaker by the minute. Upon reaching the hospital, Lacey was pronounced dead, followed soon by her brother Philip, both victims of strangulation as indicated by autopsy reports. Christopher remained in critical condition in the ICU for several days before ultimately succumbing to his injuries. So what would prompt a loving mother to commit such an unthinkable act? It appears that Jessica McCarty's actions weren't the result of a sudden impulse, but rather a manifestation of deep-rooted psychological problems. Her chilling confession unveiled a history of suicidal thoughts, confirmed by a disturbing suicide note. As the investigation developed, it encompassed not only Jessica, but her mother Patricia, her ex-husband, the father of Lacey and Philip, and her current husband Chris. There was little doubt that the primary source for shedding light on the tragic event was Jessica herself. However, during the investigation, it was noted that she would frequently dissociate and vehemently deny any involvement in her children's deaths. What was learned, however, was how soon after her first marriage she started struggling with mental health problems. Her mental health issues first worsened when her physical health deteriorated after a botched C-section from delivering her youngest son, Christopher. Further scrutiny revealed that Chris and Jessica were experiencing difficulties in their relationship. Chris had broached the subject of separation, which deeply disturbed Jessica as she professed an intense love for him. The previous day, the family had returned from Philip and Lacey's baseball game together, and the next morning, the children had followed their usual school routine. It was also disclosed that Jessica had struggled with drug abuse in the past, specifically Xanax and oxycodone. She had attempted to seek mental health assistance, but no doctor could pinpoint the root of her problems, although some suspected she might have bipolar disorder, a strong possibility given that she had once overdosed on a cocktail of sleeping pills and muscle relaxants. Interestingly, Jessica's mother Patricia mentioned that while she had never witnessed her daughter having a manic episode, she did notice her daughter having depressive episodes. Patricia also recalled finding Jessica writing a letter a day before the incident. When she inquired about its contents, Jessica remained silent. It was later revealed to be a letter addressed to Chris, in which she explained why she did what she did, expressed her deep affection for him, and stated how they'd all meet in the afterlife. An excerpt from her letter read, "I'm so sorry for what I had to do. I had no other choice." This evidence demonstrated that Jessica had been mustering this plan for a while. It was also revealed that she had previously expressed the desire to snap her children's necks to her family, yet nobody had taken these signs seriously. A source claims that there was a history of abuse during Jessica's childhood, revealing that she was raped at the age of 7. Such revelations certainly provide some insight as to what might have contributed to Jessica's mental state. Jessica's ex-husband was also investigated and shared how when Lacey and Philip were born, Jessica had mentioned having intrusive thoughts about harming them. At the time, however, he believed these thoughts to be a result of postpartum depression, as she was otherwise a very caring mother to her children. It was noted, too, that Philip was contributing to her current financial stresses, only giving Jessica $100 to $200 every week when he could due to having 4 other children. Jessica's current spouse, Chris, described their current disputes and his desire to separate. He recounted how Jessica had harassed his coworker Brandy out of suspicion that Chris had feelings for her. Chris and Jessica had planned to discuss their future, but tragically, Jessica took matters into her own hands in the worst possible way. The police investigation continued to dig deep, uncovering Jessica's obsession with her husband to the extent that she repeatedly contacted his supervisor Heather with requests to work at the same place as Chris. Heather, unaware of Jessica's true intentions, reluctantly agreed to appease her. Be it Jessica's partners or her mother, all had lived in close proximity to her for years, spending enough time to get to know her well, yet none ever contemplated that she was capable of such a horrific act. Sadly, this case serves as a stark reminder that one can never truly know what's in someone's heart, no matter how close the relationship. Jessica's struggle with mental health issues and harmful thoughts should have been taken more seriously, but sadly, they weren't. The investigation concluded, categorizing the incident as a triple homicide case, going to trial and resulting in Jessica being sentenced to life in prison for the murder of her children. This is a penalty often regarded as more severe than the death penalty itself. Some notes written by her later revealed her profound desire for death. Even when she initially surrendered to the authorities, she expressed her wish to die. However, this is a sentence her family also concurred with, and now she is serving her time in jail. The entire community of Palm Bay was left in a state of shock and disbelief that such a horrific incident could happen in their midst. But Jessica's story is not a standalone tragedy. It's a reflection of the hidden struggles that countless individuals face daily. It underscores the importance of mental health awareness, early intervention, and the need for a more supportive system. This case is a stark reminder that while many individuals silently battle inner demons, there are often small red flags, which if overlooked, can lead to devastating acts that affect many. Jessica's family, her children, her husband, her mother, and the greater community were all deeply affected by the tragedy, and the loss of these 3 beautiful children will be felt for years to come. The Jessica McCarty case stands as a poignant reminder that behind a smiling mother's face can sometimes be a murderous mind.